What's good, slimes and slimestresses? It's me, Majority, and I'm out here today with my son, Nicholas Slimington. Why? Because we are Dragon Quest aficionados. We love this series. It's one of the favorites in my life. I've played a lot of great ones. One that I hadn't played, but had to play, is the very elusive and cryptic Dragon Quest VI. And I tried many times before to do so, but was unable to do it just naturally. So I got the help of the Brady Games Dragon Quest VI Realms of Revelation strategy guide. And we're going to review it today. I'll tell you about all the goodies packed inside. But before I do, if you want more goodies, well, you've come to the right place. I try and keep my content wholesome, like a smile slime. Nicholas approves. Be sure to subscribe if you want more good content, because I got you covered. In any case, the strategy guide is quite extensive. There's a good 300 pages or so, about almost 200 of which are the walkthrough. But Dragon Quest VI has a couple reasons that you might want to play alongside a guide. So, for one, there are a number of characters in the DS remake. In the original Super Famicom version, it was kind of a preset number of characters, with the exception that if you had a Monster Master, you could recruit monsters to the party. While in this game, they gimped the Monster Master class and just made a bunch of the characters optional recruits, including Lizzie, a Heal Slime, a King Slime, a Liquid Metal Slime, and a bunch of slimes. So they love the slimes. We love the slimes. You know, that's really what you're here for, folks. Loving the slimes. And you have conditions in order to recruit them. There's another character in this game that if you mess up the dialogue option, he won't join your party. So it's helpful to know how to do that properly. And this guide goes over all of that, as well as how to optimize each character. Some characters have higher mana capabilities, others have more offensive and defensive capabilities. So it's helpful for knowing how you want to build your party. Speaking of the party, it's a party in Dragon Quest VI because the class system is thorough. There's a lot to pick from. This game has an all trades abbey where you can change the classes of your party members. So there are standard classes and hybrid classes, each with their own unique sets of skills. In order to master the hybrid classes, or even enter the hybrid classes, you have to master several of the standard classes. So, for instance, if you don't have this information in front of you, you may just be aimlessly going towards mastering random classes and it not be beneficial, versus if you had known that, like, I need a warrior and a martial artist mastery in order to become a gladiator, it's much more helpful. It's super important that you build the right party in this game because the bosses are tricky, especially toward the late game and the post game. And with the wrong party combination, you could find yourself endlessly grinding. Plus, it's really rewarding to make the best possible classes. I worked towards having a gladiator, an armamentalist, a sage, and several luminaries, as well as a couple of thief classes along the way. And they served my needs pretty well. The walkthrough is really helpful for the main game because the main game can be very difficult to navigate. So there are a couple points throughout the narrative where if you don't know what you're looking for, then you're likely to get stuck. So it might be talking to a specific set number of people in a town, sometimes more than once. It might be looking at an object that's right in front of you and actually examining it pretty closely, but it's not always clear that you're supposed to. It might even be digging for a random patch of ground or using a very specific spell at a certain time, or following a certain trajectory to follow a character around a cave so that you can see him press a button and then you can press the same button. There's so much nonsense as far as progression in this game that without a guide, I could just see it being painstakingly difficult. I don't think it's really possible to play through the game without a guide in some form. And you might be fine just using one online. I personally like having the book in front of me because it's no distractions, whereas a phone or the laptop are not ideal. The laptop is cumbersome and the phone leads to me browsing my Gmail. And I don't want to do that when I'm playing Dragon Quest. And I don't think Nicholas does either. There are some other useful sections in here. Mini medals, item list, a bestiary. The bestiary is actually pretty useful because it tells you about what the drop rates are for monsters, what items they drop, and with the thief class you can rob them of their items with their innate ability as thieves. So if you're going for certain items, that can be useful. There are mini games in this game, and one of them is mandatory as far as the main game goes. There's Slip and Slime, a fashion contest, the casino, and Slimeopolis. I really only messed with one of them because I was just trying to finish the game, but there's that for you if you so choose. What do I think of the Brady Games guide? I think it's a necessary tool. If you want to get into Dragon Quest VI, this is your guide. This is what you need. It's also a game that is worth playing through. I know it's not my favorite, but you know, the Zenithian trilogy on the DS or even just on the SNES, Super Nintendo, is renowned as far as the Dragon Quest series go. A lot of people say it's their favorite. 5 is iconic, 4 is really good, and 6 is, I think it's unique and has a lot of potential, and technically it is the first game in the trilogy in terms of timelines, if you care about that. I am happy I finished, and I'm happy that this guide helped me to do so. Nothing was too out there, and yeah, everything was transparent, clear, and no fluff. And you know, I generally like the artwork and everything, you know, and even just as far as like getting all the items on screen, getting mini medals, you know, I've had managed to end the game with like 75 mini medals. I cleared it in like 29 hours. And so, you know, I put this guide to good use, and I'm happy I did. Have you used this guide? Would you use this guide? Have you played Dragon Quest VI? How do your thoughts compare to mine? Check out my podcast with Spencer on his channel, RPG Archive, for more. That should be uploading soon if it's not out already. Thanks for watching. 2023, Year of the Slime. Let's go places only a slime could go. And if you snooze, you ooze. 2023, snooze, you ooze. Peace. See you with more video content to come. And smile.